And those are your headlines. Well, if you've been paying attention to the news last week, you saw, doubtless, the performance of the IRS Commissioner, John Koskinen, who got up before Congress and, among many other things, refused in any way to apologize for his agency's targeting of conservatives during the last presidential campaign, and then went on to explain that Lois Lerner's emails, those key emails, some of which may have been to Democratic lawmakers coordinating these attacks on conservatives, had been mysteriously lost, vanished in a hard drive. Now it turns out he has some.
Yeah, he has some of these emails, but here's the rub. We don't know what kind of emails they are. They're probably not the ones that were on that hard drive, which mysteriously crashed, and somehow the FBI and others can't pull off of these records off of this hard drive. But now we know that these other emails exist out there. Are they just going to be sort of whitewashed emails, stuff that she was doing on the weekend? Hey, I went to the Hamptons this weekend. Or will it be substantive emails?
Yeah, hey, what's the special in the work cafeteria today? Oh, It's meatloaf again. I mean, what kind of things are we going to be seeing from these letters, these emails that all the others from 2009 to 2011, the important ones, you would think, somehow
Sorry, I can't get
disappeared.
past the IRS meatloaf.
Right.
Oh, it would be good. Extra ketchup. Extra ketchup.
Yeah, ketchup on the top.
Well, Representative Aaron Schock was on the record last night with Greta Van Susteren, and he says, I don't even know what to make of Koskinen saying that he's going to give us these emails. Listen to this.
Well, great. We heard that last month. In May, Commissioner Koskinen told the Ways and Means Committee that we would have all of the emails from Lois Lerner without any hesitation, without any delay. And then we found out earlier this month that, in fact, 2 years' worth of the emails that we were requesting were, in fact, lost. So I'm not sure when to believe Commissioner Koskinen or which letters that he sends to us to take seriously.
It's just funny, the timing of all this, too, that he's promising to have these for us by next weekend, which, of course, is a long weekend. Friday is the 4th of July. How many of you aren't even working on the 4th of July? Probably won't be watching the news unless you're waking up with
It'll be 4 p.m. It'll be 4 p.m. on Friday on the 4th of July.
But how sad, because this is not a minor thing. This is the ultimate betrayal of trust, of the public trust. The IRS has all your personal information, and they're using it to hurt you, it turns out. And the president, by the way, the other day, just out of nowhere, again dismissed this as a phony scandal. And remember, quote, a phony scandal. Remember, this is the same president who said at the outset of the IRS scandal, we put that tape on the air when it happened, I am deeply concerned about this.
He was
now
outraged.
It's just like it's phony.
He was outraged about it. And that's what rubs, dare I say, the wrong way. It's basically now pointing the finger back at Republicans again, calling them whiners for making up this phony scandal. And yet the president himself was outraged and vowed to get to the bottom of it. Listen to Isa.
It leaves us at odds with a president who initially said this was awful, he was going to get to the bottom of it, then turned it into yet another one of those, it's not a scandal and it's just Republicans. Well, it's not just Republicans. The reason 75%, 3 out of every 4 Americans are outraged and don't trust the IRS is because they shouldn't trust the IRS.
One of the rubs, of course, is that Fox News has been one of the only mainstream media organizations actually covering this story. But this week, finally, the New York Times admitting, so the president really can't hide from this now, even the New York Times is admitting that they were late on this IRS story. In fact, here's a quote from the New York Times public editor. It says, the Times was somewhat late in beginning to cover the latest development about the lost emails.
Well, they just didn't cover it. And what's the justification for that? This is a great story. Leaving aside the political implications, are you kidding? The IRS claims they lost emails. You can't lose emails in the modern age. This is just a great story, and they refuse to cover it. Why? Because they're partisan. That's why.
Yeah, so many people believing that these emails were deliberately destroyed, and they're just simply not covering. This is the type of story that's going to be going down in my children's high school history books, right? Down right next to the Watergate dates, potentially.
I'm still surprised that people aren't looking at how difficult it is to delete something like this. I mean, the servers, the backup of servers. If I took a hard drive out of my computer and I took it down to a little hack shop in Midtown and said, wipe my hard drive, you know how difficult it is for them to do it? They'd have to get out incredibly strong magnets, number one. They use like the electromagnets. And they'd have to run it through multiple times for that to be wiped. And even then, we can still recover information.
And it's not just Lois Lerner's, it's 6 others, too. And one of those people had dozens of visits to the White House.
Anyway.
Well, speaking of the White House in Washington, Rick Reichmuth is standing right outside, I believe, the Lincoln Memorial. Yeah, there it is, the Lincoln Memorial. Rick, what are you doing there?
Good morning, guys. It's a great organization called Boot Campaign and another group called pushupsforcharity.com. And we've got people doing push-ups today, trying to get 50,000 push-ups done today to raise awareness for our troops and their family members. And if you're in Washington, D.C., you can